Hi there, hope you're doing really well today. We are going to look at a letter from Angela, where I think you'll find a lot of insight, a lot of helpful things. Before we look at it, just want to say that may not be as much content this week as typical. It's like, back to school is happening, and I'm a little bit preoccupied with that. So just so you know, if it takes longer for me to reply to comments and things of that nature. But with that said, let's jump in here and read this from Angela. And before I do, just so I don't forget, so grateful for everyone that's willing to share what's happening, whether it's this, like Angela, that shares some insights that she hopes will really help others and from a place where she's doing well, or if you're struggling or whatever happens. I'm just so grateful for everyone sharing. So let's look at this. Angela says the following, and this I got this email a week ago or so. Thank you for responding to my comment under your YouTube video anytime, of course. And this, by the way, this was a comment under one of the Sasha Stevens episodes. I just want to preface this by saying that I haven't been suffering for what is considered long-term, but this was a massive part of my life for a while and impacted me a lot. I won't go into too much detail about my story because I no longer think it's important to focus on that. I'd much rather talk about my recovery process and change in mindset. I started taking prescribed melatonin because I wanted to avoid heavy sleeping pills. I realized that after a month and a half of consistently taking it, I became quite psychologically dependent on it. I went to a few sleep therapy sessions, which were extremely expensive, and they were helpful to some extent, but I could not continue it in the long term. As a last resort, I read Sasha Stevens' book after my last sleepless night. That is the effortless sleep method, by the way, which was late April of this year. I got out of bed that morning without a wink of sleep, having made plans to go to the city for the day with my friend. It was going to be exhausting, so I told her I couldn't make it because I was tired. I began to listen to the audiobook that morning. It made me realize that this issue was taking over my life. I was changing my lifestyle based around my sleep, and I realized how ridiculous that was. I decided to say, screw it, and ended up spending the entire day with my friend in the city. Don't get me wrong, I was still very tired, but I pushed through and had such a fun time. It was like a shift in my mindset and the way I looked at my situation. I haven't had a sleepless night since, it's late August, so 4 months. The way I look at it now is, and by the way, here Angela had just, 3 paragraphs. I took the liberty of adding numbers just for clarification. 1, I'm naturally a good sleeper. There's no reason I should be afraid to fall asleep when I already know that I have very much the capability to have trust in yourself. 2, there is no point in trying to force yourself to sleep and lay in your bed with your eyes shut. It'll happen when it happens. In the meantime, if you're getting anxious laying in bed, get out and do something else until you feel tired and you want to get into bed again, not for the purpose of waiting for time to pass. It's okay. 3, it's okay if you don't sleep tonight. You have had sleepless nights before and you were still able to function during the day and have a good time. This change in mindset is the most important thing. There are other things I do, like establish some sleep hygiene by waking up at the same time every day and doing more exercise, but none of this will help if you don't have the right mindset. Do not place pressure and fear on getting enough sleep. It's easier said than done. And it doesn't mean you will completely recover straight away. I'm still in the process of my recovery. I've still had nights where I found it difficult to fall asleep, and then consequently, doubt creeps back into my mind. But I remind myself, I've had stretches of good nights for weeks long now, and one night is not significant. I think the most important thing is to build that belief in yourself and knowing that you're capable of sleeping. It shouldn't be something that is forced, but is natural and will happen when it happens. There's no point in forcing it. I found it difficult to start with, but as I've had more experience of good stretches, it bolsters my confidence. Trust in yourself. This is a gradual process, and that trust will grow stronger and stronger. There will be occasional times where you self-sabotage and think you've had a good stretch, so you're due for a bad night, but think of these as small setbacks and let it strengthen your motivation to keep going. I think there are too many people who are reliant on an external remedy to cure them or help them each night. But the reason I wanted to reach out and share my story is to help provide motivation to begin to trust yourself. Have trust at the same time, pay no attention to it, don't think of it as a problem, and it won't be one. You have the power to not let it consume you. The more good nights you get on unaided sleep, the more you'll trust yourself. I hope this story can be helpful to someone. I think it already has, Angela. I'm so grateful for you sharing this. And you know, just a few things to add to this is that uh, the question of confidence can be tricky, because to some that hear this, they say, I want to trust myself, but I just keep on not sleeping. And to me, it's just a subtle difference between knowing that there's nothing wrong with you, and having the confidence that, you know, what's happening to you has happened to many other people, and it's just a misunderstanding. It's just a mindset, as Angela says, which is different from the confidence in your ability to make sleep happen. Nobody has that. Nobody has the capacity to make themselves sleep. So it's not helpful to try to achieve the confidence in like your ability to make sleep happen, like, you know, make yourself sleep. But it can be really helpful to trust that there's nothing wrong with you. It's just same old insomnia that's happened to so many other people. And I think it really, that was one thing I wanted to add to this. And secondly, Sasha Stevens' books, I think they're really helpful. I wanted to add that. And I think that's pretty much it, actually. I just want to say lastly here that, Angela, thanks so much for sharing this. Anybody who has thoughts, comments, experiences that are similar to Angela's, just leave a comment, and we will go from there. And by the way, if anyone likes the teaching here and says, you know what, I would like some more help and support on my path towards sleeping well for the rest of my life, then just head over to our website. You'll find an option that's that hopefully suits you really well. But again, I also hope, of course, that many of you find all you need in these videos, in the comment section and everything else, without anything further. So I'll just end there and say thanks so much for tuning in. Hope to have you back real soon. And again, I might not make so many videos this week, but next week school is back and there'll be much more. Bye for now.